So guys, here we are with the all-new Ranger in this Raptor format here. And of course, that means it's getting all of the best off-road goodies you can get. And this is going up against some tough competition with the all-new Toyota Tacoma and its TRD Pro modes and trims. So there's definitely some competitors here now, but I think this Ranger Raptor really stands out, especially with this Raptor package. Up front here, we definitely get a unique front fascia. We have that Raptor style grille up front here with the big Ford logo up front. Really like that design. We also have full LED headlights here. We can see our LED accent beam on right now. We also have nice big projector bulbs, as well as LED fog lights down here. We also have a custom bumper with some underbody cladding, of course, as well as recovery hooks exposed up front there. We also have safety features and typical radar cruise and stuff as well. So it blends luxury and that off-road capability. And I love these graphics here on this particular Ranger Raptor. Really make it stand out. We have some vintage style stuff going up on the hood here. And we cannot miss these absolutely massive BF Goodrich KO3 all-terrain rubbers on here. Definitely some crazy looking tires. I believe these are the beadlock capable rims on this particular one. You can see here. Really nice design as well. We're also hiding some pretty significant chassis and reinforcements underneath. So the chassis itself has been strengthened. We have some new forged components for the suspension up front. We have some Fox Live damper shocks as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on here that's really going to help you to improve your off-road prowess, make jumping and driving off-road comfortable for you, and they look cool as well. If you kind of get a little bit of a glimpse of those Fox shocks over there, you can see that unique orange anodizing on there. Really nice design. And we also have some pretty solid steel side steps, which I guess can also serve as rock rails as well. And check out the rear end of these graphics here blending into the rear truck bed. Really cool design back here. I really like that. We also have a really sporty looking rear end on the Ranger Raptor. So we have twin exhaust tubes, high mounted up there to help improve your departure angles as well. We have a tow hitch on this particular one. Having a quick look underneath the vehicle, you can see that beefy rear suspension system and that axle, which is using a Watts link setup over here to kind of help improve some lateral rigidity here. We can see those Fox suspension bits back there as well, and a lot more recovery hooks back here. Popping up the rear bed is pretty easy as well. It should be unlocked right now. It is dampened down, and we have these kind of red little hooks here, which is a nice touch. Some Ford badges, some plugs back here for your accessories, and we have a spray and bed liner on this particular one as well for some added durability. So overall, visually and at a quick glance, I really like what's going on in the Ranger Raptor. I think it looks really nice in this dark olive green paint finish as well, and you can still haul around people with this cab setup. So back here you can see we have this really unique Raptor specific seats here. So we have this kind of microfiber blend up here with this red orange stitching and accents on the seats, which is a really gorgeous touch here. All weather floor mats, of course, back here, and pretty easy to get into as well. Hopping inside, I can sit behind myself with a lot of room actually. Storage cubby and some charging ports back here, but this is a driver's vehicle at the end of the day, but you can haul some passengers and cargo around if you need to. So let's go hop in on that front cabin there, because it's a pretty unique new space. So up front here on the Ranger Raptor, we can see we have our unusually placed keyless access system for our keypad here. I wish it was a little bit better integrated here, but nonetheless, that's what you're getting. Door panels, pretty fine looking, nothing too crazy. We have these really nice seats here that I think are actually very supportive. Lots of nice blends of materials going on here, so that's a really nice touch. We have the 4 performance side plaques here and Raptor badges on our all-weather floor mats up front. Closing up the door here, the Raptor is on right now, and we can see we have a blend of some new and old components in here. So on the steering wheel here, there's a lot of stuff going on. Let me tell you that. We're in Baja mode right now. You can see you can change our drive modes here with our 4-wheel drive selector, as well as the drive mode around it. Whole bunch of drive modes: off-road, normal, sport, tow haul, slippery, and we have Baja. It's a lot of stuff here, but there's even more ways to customize your Ranger Raptor as well. Put it in sport mode here, so we can see we can change our dampers. So we have 3 damper settings: sport, normal, and off-road. We also have an exhaust mode, so we can go Baja, quiet, normal, sport. That's just crazy. You have all these different exhaust modes. There's a lot of fun customizable things here. Even our steering, comfort, normal, and sport as well. So that's really fun to see all these different use cases for these bits in this interior. Like I said, we have radar cruise control as well, so a lot of nice amenities. The buttons are a little bit on the older end for Ford, but I think it's fine for what it is. Nice metal paddle shifters as well. Love that touch. And we cannot miss this huge infotainment system here. It looks like it was lifted out of the Mach-E. You know, it works fine. I really don't have any complaints with it software-wise. You have your climate controls, both physical buttons and on the screen. I love the orange accents and the rugged style of this interior. I think it's really nice. We have some more controls and buttons over here. There's so much stuff is going on in this interior. Wireless charging mat, that's cool as well. So again, a lot of nice stuff going on in here. We have a digital cluster up here. We can kind of configure to a few different settings as well. No sunroof, I believe, at all on these new Rangers, which is interesting to me. We have some auxiliary switches up here if you want to wire something. It's already pre-wired, which is a nice touch. So you have a lot of nice features in here. Sans a sunroof, if you do or really want that. I don't even think you can get one, which is a little bit odd. So yeah, this is the Ranger Raptor. I like this interior. It's a little bit on the cheaper end, but you know, this is the cheaper version of the F-150 Raptor at the end of the day. So I guess that's okay. We have some camera systems as well in this vehicle, nothing too advanced. Pretty clear cameras though. I guess that could be helpful in some off-road scenarios. But let's go take this thing on a quick drive. We have a Bowers or Bang & Olufsen audio system in this particular one as well. So pretty decked out in this particular model. And let's go drive it on. Well, hello everyone. Join me in the Ranger Raptor here, and we're gonna take this thing on a little bit of a drive now. This thing is pretty new here in the US, and I think it's gonna be a pretty hot seller once it starts reaching dealers and customers here. So what's so big about the Ranger Raptor here? So it's really giving us the twin turbo V6 from the Bronco Raptor, but the pickup truck capability of the F-150 Raptor, and a little bit of a smaller package, maybe better for trails, maybe better for some situations here, and all of that off-road goodiness and capability we have from the F-150 Raptor. And it's really just a smaller package. So let's head out on this gravel here, and then we'll head out onto the road and see the versatility of this vehicle. So we have big, giant 33-inch wheels on this one. You know, Baja mode is definitely more on the extreme side, but I have to say the suspension here, we have the upgraded suspension, upgraded chassis here. It handles these bumps and ruts really, really well. You know, this thing's stick designed to be jumped essentially. It likes to drift a little bit as well off-road, and I love the versatility of this car when you can literally just thrash it all around off-road and then throw it right back into like a sport mode, for example. So we're gonna pop it into normal, sport here. It's gonna shift back to rear-wheel drive for us, and then you could just take it around onto a public road and still have fun with this twin turbo V6, which is really fun to play around with. Especially with the paddle shifters as well. I think they do a pretty good job at keeping this thing controlled. Pretty quick shifts as well. So how is the the Ranger Raptor like to drive? Well, I actually will be getting the Bronco Raptor for a long-term review, so we'll definitely compare it to this vehicle's driving performance. But honestly, here in sport mode out on the road, pretty nice. I would definitely say if you're going to be driving a Ranger Raptor on the road more so than on off-road setting, you may want to put a different tire on here. This tire is definitely off-road focused. It's a all-terrain tire here, BF Goodrich KO3 rubber here. It's not going to be the best for traction on pavement. It's definitely tuned for gravel, mud, ruts, rockling, all that fun stuff. But you can see even in manual mode, it does hold those gears for you as well, which is a nice touch. And even just cruising around here calmly, it does a great job. You hear that turbo spool up, and there's so many different drive modes and settings in this car that you really can just endlessly spend hours in here figuring out how you want it tuned. So I could pop it into normal mode, for example. Or maybe that's sport. Here's normal mode. Here's normal mode, for example. And then I could change my damper settings. I can put into sport or off-road or back to normal. I can change my exhaust. I can make it quiet, normal, sport, Baja, and any combination really of in between of all these different modes. And even my steering, I can put into comfort, sport, or normal. So there's a lot of fun, different capabilities you have in terms of adjusting your Ranger Raptor for your own personal use, which is great. And I think the gigantic infotainment system here works, of course, wireless, CarPlay, Android Auto, all that fun stuff. But it's a nice high-tech piece of equipment here. I think it's pretty easy to use. I'm not super fond of the vertical layout. I wish it was actually horizontal or even facing the driver a little bit. It's a little bit flat up there, but you know, I can't really complain because it works well. We have physical controls here still for our climate controls, which is a nice touch. So all the touch points in here are pretty useful, and like I mentioned earlier, we have 6 auxiliary ports up here for our pre-wired if you want to add on accessories up here. We have Bang & Olufsen audio system. So you know, a lot of nice luxury touches on this particular vehicle, as well as all that off-road props, which is really fun. So I'm glad that we are finally getting this in the US market, because it's been a long time coming now with this Ranger Raptor, and I'm glad we finally are able to experience it. Now, power is just around the 400-ish area. It's a little bit less, I believe, than the Bronco Raptor. I think that's due to the how the exhaust is laid out, I believe I read. I haven't had too much time with this vehicle as of yet, but plenty capable, plenty fun, especially up here in the mountains. But I'd love to experience this on an off-road course. We were supposed to have one today here at our media event, but unfortunately it was canceled at the last minute due to uncontrollable reasons. So alas, we're here stuck with some gravel roads, and even in too high, with these tires on here, you could pretty much go through like everything unless you really are getting in some really sticky situations off-road. Leaving it in too high, honestly, most of the time is still pretty good with it. And you have a lot of gauges and cameras and you know, tilt meters and all that fun stuff to really help you gauge what you're doing in some off-road settings, which I think is fantastic. So hopefully we'll be able to test it in that style of environment. But as of right now, on-road performance is pretty good, actually. It's very comfortable, especially for a pickup truck. It doesn't feel super wide or big on the road. And you have so much power in this thing. It's really impressive. To get you out of like any situation. On the road it feels fast, off-road it feels fast, and that's the real magic here with Ford's Raptor lineup. It's designed to be quick on and off-road, so it does both quite well. You know, at the end of the day, it's a body on frame pickup truck, designed heavy duty suspension, all that stuff that's gonna aid you in off-road settings. Good approach and departure angles, raised ground clearance, that off-road rubber. So on road, you know, I would say performance is a little bit compromised. Just don't drive it too fast, obviously, if you're new to this off-road pickup truck craze we have right now. And I'm very curious to see how the new TRD Pro Tacoma is going to perform in comparison with this, because as we know, the Tacoma is now that hybrid 4-cylinder turbo setup only, no V6 anymore. So this is really one of the only options in this segment now that has a big twin turbo V6 now. And big isn't a big relatively standpoint. It's not, it's still under 4 liters. So new world of trucks here. I like what Ford's doing with this Ranger. I still have not gotten a solid answer on why we don't have a sunroof. Otherwise, pretty fun first impressions. Again, I've only had been able to drive this thing for like 20 minutes, so I can't offer you a full review, but so far so good. And I hope you guys enjoyed this quick testing out here of the Ford Ranger Raptor. As always, stay tuned for more coming in on Allcarnews, and make sure to definitely go check out the Ranger Raptor out in a showroom if you can, because oh, it's pretty cool.